Hey there, manga lovers. Welcome back to our channel, the only place where we turn pages faster than your grandma can knit. Today, we're diving into a fantastical tale that'll leave you hungry for that next chapter. So picture this. You've just beaten the ultimate fantasy game in record time. You're basking in the glow of victory, and boom! The next thing you know, you're reincarnated in the same game, but here comes the plot twist. You've reincarnated as the mastermind, who will in the future cause great chaos and betray the main lead of the original story. So yeah, our guy is not just a player anymore, he's the puppeteer holding on to the strings of his own destiny. So, grab your popcorn, because I'm sure this story will leave you hooked. Oh, and before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell, because missing out on manga madness is just as tragic as forgetting your character's special move in the heat of battle. Now, let the recap commence. Our boy, Ren from Weeb's Land, is a college student who's a big fan of the fantasy genre. He's the type of guy who will set aside his life purpose to play any game that involves the world of swords and magic all night without any hesitation. And Ren has just cleared the newly launched sequel of the fantasy RPG game, The Legend of the Seven Heroes 2. It's a story about the descendants of the heroes who once defeated the Demon King, fighting against the forces who are attempting to revive the Demon King. In this sequel, however, an unprecedented plot twist takes place. The hero's friend unalives the saintess, bringing chaos upon the whole kingdom. In the end, the king orders the hero to subjugate his friend, leaving a lot of mysteries to be unfolded in the third part of the game. Ren, after reading the comments of other players who have cleared the game, also comes to the conclusion that hero's friend really is the mastermind who's trying to revive the Demon King and causing chaos. Oh, and by the way, in this story, this friend of hero's is even stronger than him. Ren decides to replay the game in hopes of finding a hidden skill or something. Just as he was about to replay, a message pops up on his screen asking him if he wants to start a special story with the Demon Sword summoning skill. Intrigued by the skill name, he smashes that circle button on his PS4 controller without a second thought. Just then, he gets blinded by a bright white light and loses consciousness. When he comes to, he finds that his body has shrunken and he's not able to move freely. It doesn't take our boy long, who's a die-hard fan of the fantasy genre, to know that he has somehow reincarnated in the game world. But what he's more surprised about is that his name now is Len Ashton. Although similar to the name in his previous life, it's the same name as the Mastermind from The Legend of the Seven Heroes 2, the same guy who betrays the main lead and causes immense chaos. 7 years passed quickly, and he's now living in one of the no-name villages of the Western military nation, the Liomel Empire. Despite some difficulties in accepting reality in the beginning, he quickly got used to this new lifestyle with his mother and father. But as all isekai protagonists do, our boy is also keeping a secret from his mom and dad. He can see the status screen just like in the game, but it only shows him his skills. He then begins to ponder his skill, Demon Sword Summoning, as he has never heard of this skill before. After some explanations of the game mechanics, he concludes that it is most likely a unique skill. He tests it, but is slightly disappointed after summoning a mere wood sword. According to the skill description on the stats, his skill proficiency will rise the more he uses it. And by leveling up the skill, he can summon different types of demon swords. But he has to expend some magic power to summon these swords, running out of which gives him a severe headache. So he decides to practice every single day to grow his mana. Len comes to the conclusion that this power is related to the game, and that he must do everything he can to avoid the worst-case scenario. The now 7-year-old Len, who is handling the chores, is greeted by his father, who tells him that it's about time for him to learn swordsmanship. Both father and son practice for 30 minutes before Len's energy runs out. His father compliments him for doing well in his first ever sword practice. Our boy is overjoyed to notice that his skill proficiency has increased. The days of his practice continued. Len tried using the demon stone of a monster that his father gave him to raise his skill level, but it didn't work. He figured it wouldn't work unless he himself defeats the monster. 1 month passes, and his father compliments his sword moves but continues to slam him into the ground, teaching him a tough lesson. Len insists on continuing a bit more, but his father tells him to rest his body properly. He checks his status and sees that he's only a few days away from a level up. At home, Len's mother is worried that his father is pushing him too hard in training, but he assures her that he likes learning swordsmanship. Len asks her if she hates swords, to which she replies that rather than hate, she is frightened by the idea of her husband badly injuring himself one day. But Len's father comes in and assures his wife. He said that he's being more careful now and that his family's happiness is his first priority. Late at night, Len thinks about his previous family, how his parents divorced when he was little, and that his relationship with his parents was almost non-existent. He continues his training and is really thankful for how lively and fulfilled his days are now compared to the past. One day, while training, he felt a weird sensation in his body. Dispelling his father's worries, he continues his charge and notices he is much stronger and faster than before. His father, surprised by this, asked Len to charge once more. He does so, and to his father's astonishment, Len breaks his sword. His father raises him up in the air while praising him and is surprised that his son is a skill bearer. While he himself doesn't have a skill, he joyfully tells his wife about their son's skill. His father wastes no time to tell him that he shouldn't waste his talent in a small village like this, and that he should go to the capital and make a name for himself. While Len is startled by his father's words, his mother wonders what kind of skill he has. His father frowns and says that they would go to the church next town to check it if they had more money. But contrary to his parents' excitement, Len tells them there's no need for it. His parents are obviously taken aback by his attitude. But Len convinces them that rather than becoming a famous knight, he wants to be his father's successor in this village, so that he can protect his father if the worst was to happen. Our boy is happier than he'd ever been in these past 7 years, and he gives all the credit to his parents for that. He tells them that all he wants is for the 3 of them to live long lives together. Len decides to cherish the time with his family this time, and vows to live a life different than the Len from the game in order to prevent the future of despair. But his sweet dreams of a perfect life wouldn't last long because in the near future he will meet the young girl he's supposed to unalive in the game. Will he be able to change this unreasonable destiny? How long will his peaceful days with his family last? In the northern city, Clausel, of the Liomel Empire territory, we see a beautiful young girl sitting alone on a bench, looking bored after defeating the other knights in swordsmanship easily. She asks the old man, who's her father's retainer, where he is going, wearing his armor. He tells her that he is ordered by his master to go to the northwest part of the territory to slay a troublesome beast that has appeared out of nowhere. The scene now shifts to the no-name village, where we see the now 10-year-old Len, who is now worried about the stagnant growth of his skills. He engages in a small conversation with a grandma from the village while thinking about how training for a short period of time only increases his proficiency by 1. But he thinks that the battle power he now has is more than enough to leave a peaceful village life. Both the grandma and Len notice some people coming towards them on horses. The grandma tells Len that those are Lord Baron's people and that they should return ASAP. The armored knights inform Len's father about the beast that's been causing havoc and many casualties in the nearby area. They invite him to participate in the vigilance team. When his father asks the old man about the rank of this beast, he tells him that it's a D-rank beast. Len explains that a D-rank beast is the same as an early-stage boss in the game and that even the strength of 5 average knights isn't enough to defeat it. His father inquires why there is such a beast in their area. The old man tells him that they're looking into it and that it will take 20 days for the reinforcements to arrive. He understands the situation and offers the knights to rest in their village for a while. The old man notices Len and asks Roy if he's his son. Roy then proceeds to introduce Len to the old man, who is the captain of the knights. Len is surprised by the fact that he is the highest-ranked knight in the territory. The knights leave after a while, and the captain is impressed by Len, as he is a skill-bearer. He prays for their safety. Len asks his father to show him the beast's wanted notice, but his father tells him that he doesn't need to worry about that, as he has defeated a D-ranker on his own in the past. Len is surprised that his father is stronger than 5 average knights. Roy increased the number of boars he hunts, and Len understands his father's intentions of decreasing the chances of that beast coming to this area by reducing the number of easy prey for that beast. His father continues to hunt every day from afternoon until sunset. At night, while bathing, Len worriedly tells his father that he is overworking himself and that he should allow Len to help with hunting. He tells him he'll do that after this matter with the beast settles, and that he's sorry for not being able to accompany Len in his sword training these days. Len tells him not to worry about that, as he himself is helping his mom process all the boar meat. His father thanks him for helping his mom. Len hopes for his peaceful days to continue as they have for the last 10 years. His father sleeps in the bathtub due to fatigue from overworking. The days pass, until one night Len is worried because his father hasn't returned. His mom decides to go and check on him. Len tells her that he'll also go with her, as it's dangerous for her to go alone. They both go out with fire torches in their hands. Len thinks that it is his first time in this world going out at night. His mother guided him every step of the way and told him to be careful. At some distance, she spots her husband and calls out to him. Len wonders why his father is sitting in that kind of place. But his mother rushed towards her husband, and Len follows after her. But what awaits them, there is a horrible scene. And that's about it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe and comment down below if you want a part 2. I'll see you guys in the next one.